Hello and good afternoon everybody. Here we are again, 2 hours in from our last one, and it's time for a little bit of refreshment. So first thing I want to say to you before we start working on our bladder meridian is make sure that you're drinking enough. Okay, so I've got a really lovely ginger tea. So all the herbal teas are really going to be great right now for helping your system flow, keeping that warm liquid, helping things flow through you. Okay, so keeping up with your fluids is really important. Yes, it might mean that you're going to the loo that little bit more, but you know it's worth it. It really is to make sure that everything's flowing through our system that little bit better. So I'm going to be sipping my ginger tea whilst I wait for see who's coming on board. And as you start to come on, can you just drop me a quick hello so I know that you're watching, a hashtag replay if you're catching the replay, and some love hearts. That'll give me a little bit of love. It's always nice to have a little bit of love returned with everything that I'm giving out today. I didn't actually realise how quickly each 2 hour slot would come and go before I had to start again. Time just seems to be speeding up, I think, at the moment instead of slowing down, but I think that's probably because I have set myself this challenge of sharing with you what I know as a therapist I should be doing, especially at the moment because well, especially after losing my father a couple of weeks ago, but on top of that the virus and everything that's going on at the moment, we all need to be looking after ourselves a little bit more. So by me doing these lives for you, I know that I'm taking my self-care seriously because I'm doing this for you guys, and that helps me do it for me, if that makes sense. So if it means that you record your own video of doing this and then you share it with your family and your friends, then do that. You know, write the routine, learn the routine, or look on the app and see what the routine is, and record your version of it for the people that you care about, so that you know that you are keeping up with this routine, that you are doing your own self-care. Because if you're doing it for others, okay, it means that you're doing it for yourself as well, and that's a really important thing right now, because so many of us are looking after others, we're looking after our families, we're making sure that everyone's okay at home, we're making sure that people in the community are being looked after, and we can have a tendency then to sort of not look after ourselves. But if we don't do that, okay, then we're going to struggle to continue this, and we're in this now for the long haul, aren't we? So let's start looking after each other and encouraging each other, and I'm going to keep this going for as long as I can. I'm not going to do this every day, okay? Today, the next 24 hours, I'm recording all of these so that we can repeat them, and then I'll maybe come on again next week and do another stint of them with a bit more information. So make sure you've got a drink, make sure you're keeping your fluids up. I'm just having my ginger tea. Drop me a hello, let me know who's watching. It's always nice to have the comments. I think we're on, I've forgotten where we are, aren't we? Bladder Meridian, between 3 and 5 p.m. Now this is an important meridian because it is opposite our lung meridian, and I know I've mentioned this in the other videos. So I just want to explain what these, it's like the yin and the yang, okay? So there's opposites. So between 3 and 5 p.m, your bladder meridian is at its optimum level of functioning. It's doing its best at this time. But it also means that our lung meridian, okay, between 3 and 5 p.m. is at its weakest. So this might be a time where a lot of you are feeling fatigued, tired, you're coughing, you might need to rest a little bit more because your lungs are now at their weakest. Okay, so this time, especially between 3 and 5 p.m, is when you really need to be keeping up on your fluids and making sure that you are taking that rest time, because we need to look after our lung area at the moment. Now our bladder meridian also, because it sort of mirrors our lungs, holds quite a lot of the mirroring emotions and symptoms. So I think I mentioned in the text above, we have, hi Sam, thanks for joining us. Have a look on here, because so things like headaches and colds, head, groin and back problems can also be in our bladder, kidney areas. Obviously urinary problems, eye problems. Okay, now when we are dehydrated, when things are not working properly with our waterworks, it affects our eyes. Okay, so your eyes, if they're just starting to tear up for no reason, or it's a really good indication that you might be dehydrated. So really keeping up on your fluids right now. Anemia and immune deficiency, vertigo, asthma type symptoms, so respiratory problems again from your bladder meridian, irregular periods, impotence, diarrhea, constipation. Okay, so these are just some of the symptoms that can appear physically from this type of area. I'm just going to list now some of the negative emotions that these things start in the bladder area. Not taking responsibility, blaming others for things, anger, hatred. There's a lot of that flaring up at the moment, isn't there, because we've got these blockages in our system. Fear, being frightened, and that makes us easily upset. Paranoia, okay, annoyed, unlucky, feeling unlucky. Being irresponsible, we're seeing a lot of that again, because if you think about your bladder, okay, your bladder and being responsible for your bladder, okay, and not having any leakages is a matter of you taking responsibility, isn't it? So if you think of toddlers, and they might not want to grow up and be responsible and come out of nappies, okay, so they don't want that responsibility. But when they do start taking responsibility for other things, then you'll probably notice that they actually are more willing to come out of nappies and be toilet trained. There's a lot of connection there. So responsibility and your bladder really tie in quite insightfully together. And depression. Okay, so those are just some of the symptoms. Without further ado, I'll just show you these whilst I'm doing. So these are the charts, okay. I know they're sort of, there's 3 of them. There's the negative emotions, the physical ones, and then there's the putting all the good stuff in, okay, the positive affirmations. And you can download these as a PDF from our website, or they're in a app format on Apple app for free, and then you can start doing your own work at home as well without me harping on at you. Okay, so we're going to start now. So we're ready. We start here, our bladder meridian. Again, this is at its optimum time right now. Just a 30 seconds little routine on each one. How's your breathing, everybody? Are you monitoring your breathing? Has anyone been doing all the other routines? Are you noticing your breathing? Where's it coming from? Your throat, your chest, just here above your rib cage, or is it coming from really depths in your belly? Are you managing to really fill up, or are you quite restricted? Taking to note what's happening with your breathing. And then at the end, if I forget to ask you, okay, just note if your breathing has improved after this. So, Bladder Meridian. Going now to our Kidney Meridian. Again, cheeky monkeys, or good old gorilla thumps. Okay, this is a nice old bang on here. And then we're going to go to our pericardium, which is our circulatory system and sexual organs. Okay, middle finger, everybody. Make sure you've all washed your hands before you start touching your face. If you have not washed your hands, do not touch your face. Okay, let's get all the health precautions in here. So just above the nail, middle finger, and start tapping. Again, great for teens, great for kids. Kids just don't need to do quite as long, but they know their own bodies. They'll know how long that they're comfortable tapping for. Infants, a couple of seconds, just a couple of taps. They don't need any more than that. Okay, pericardium. And on the back of the hand, in between your little finger and your ring finger, I'm going to go down here into this soft spot that's in between. So in between your forgot what they're called. Anyway, in between your fingers. Sorry, I'm getting tired myself. I'm really tuned into where the energies are now. So between 3 and 5 p.m. It's quite nice to have a little sleep now, I would imagine. Shall we try that? Okay, so this is your triple warmer. And your triple warmer, this is your fight, flight and freeze. So this is the area that massively kicks in when we are really anxious. Okay, so this is a good one to clear out. So that's your triple warmer. Again, if you've not washed your hands, okay, do not touch, but literally just be very next to your head, okay, and that is enough to actually be stimulating your senses in there and your meridians. It does still work. Okay, but if you have washed your hands like I have, then you're fine to be tapping just in this area here. It's your gallbladder. You're doing really well, guys, by the way. You've kept with me through this today. You're having such a good clear out today. You're giving your internals a really good vibration. Okay, having a good clear out. Liver, so stand up, okay, nipples down and here, just underneath, so on your rib cage, you're just going to start tapping here. Okay, give that a good old tap. Tap, 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 tap. Tap around the clock. Who remembers rock around the clock? That's why I named it Tap Around the Clock, because I suppose it reminded me a bit of my mum and dad, really, because they used to jive to rock around the clock. 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. Yeah, I'll stop. Okay, hands. Okay, back on our hands, we'll go to our lung meridian. So it's our thumbs, either one, and it's the outside. Okay, away from the fingers, on top of the nail, just on the skin, behind the nail. That's where you're going to tap. So this is your lung meridian, which at this moment in time is at its weakest. So it's nice to give it this little bit of stimulation right now. Might even make you feel a little bit lightheaded, a little bit dizzy. Okay. That's normal, that's natural, that's okay. That's all this vibration sort of going around and starting to communicate to other parts of your body. But listen, if you do start to get a little bit lightheaded once you've done this, stand up, bang your feet as hard as you can on the floor, do a little dance on the floor, ground yourself properly, okay, and then perhaps go and have a little lie down for 10 minutes. Close your eyes. Okay. Large intestine, so back to the hands, finger, index finger, one next to the thumb, and it's the, again, top of the nail. We're just going to start tapping there. So how about you all start sending me some photographs or videos of you doing this? Let's have some fun with it, okay? You start sending me in some images of you tapping, sharing it with the family. Let me know how you're all getting on. Okay, are you noticing any signs in your body? Okay. That's large intestine now, going to stomach meridian. Okay, so it's underneath your eyes. And just start tapping underneath there. I know it's a strange place underneath your eyes, really, to have your stomach meridian, but that's where it is. It's where one of the easier points to get to stimulate it anyway. One more. See, I can tell already how I'm now breathing more from the depths of my belly rather than my chest. So you can see the connections really of how restricted we get in our chest when we are anxious. Okay, and spleen meridian. So nipple across into where your bra strap would be. Okay, and just tap underneath there. This is opposite your triple warmer. Okay, and this is very underused, and this needs a lot of stimulation because we get a lot of blockages here. Okay, so you can't overdo this, and if you're feeling a bit of a fool, then literally just fold your arms and do that. Okay, and then you're giving yourself a little bit of a hug as well, and we all need a bit of a hug at the moment, don't we? So give yourself a nice hug. Let's all have a hug right now. That's nice, isn't it? A little bit of love between us all. Drop me some love hearts right now. That's what I need. Okay, and onto our heart meridian, little finger on the inside. Okay, let's tap away on the inside of your finger. Drop me some hearts in. Let me know how you're getting on. Has anybody shared it yet with any members of the family? Do they think you're bonkers? My boys do, but I think they're used to it now. See, I'm really noticing my breathing right now. It's so much easier, it really is. And it just shows, really does show how much stress we hold in our bodies. And this massage, all of this massage you can do just for yourself in 10 minutes. Okay, small intestine on the opposite side of your little finger. Okay, so this is making sure that the whole of your system is starting to flow in sync, okay, with the world clock, with what's happening on the outside world and what's happening on your inside world. So it's bringing you more into sync, okay, with everything. Not that's going on, but just timeline wise with your internal energies. I feel really relaxed after this one, I must admit, and I know that's it, guys. You've done tap around the clock again. Okay, you might now be feeling really quite relaxed and quite naturally tired. That's absolutely fine, that's normal. Go and have a little rest. Pardon me. Okay, you're going to start clearing at some point and having little burps, maybe a few tears, maybe a great big yawn. Maybe you're farting away as you've been doing this. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, all of that is fantastic because you're moving your energy and it's finding a way out. Okay, the emotions and the physical symptoms that go with all this don't matter right now. Okay, what matters is you're just stimulating your system enough for it to realise that you're talking to it today and to start that process of self-shifting. Okay, it gets more complicated, but it gets easier when we start to add a language that goes with it for specific emotions and specific symptoms, very much like EFT. Okay, right, let me know how you've got on, let me know how you're feeling, and I look forward to seeing you all in a couple of hours. See you soon.